Today, the defence began their case with Anne Cunningham, a longtime friend of Donna Adelson. Now, Anne told the jury that Donna was never a bad person. But the way she said it, the repetition and the persuasive tone, that raised questions for me.
Have you found her to be a hateful person?
Never.
Is she aggressive towards others?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten anyone?
Never.
Have you ever seen her harm anyone?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten to have somebody harmed?
No.
It didn't sound like memory to me. That sounded like a rehearsed argument. She also described the phone call from Donna on the day Dan Markel was shot, claiming Donna was very upset during the phone call and didn't know what happened. But the phone records don't seem to support that call, so I went back and looked at Anne's testimony to see if I could find any gaps in her words. And then at the end of this episode, I'm going to take a closer look at something many of you have asked to pull out, which is from day 6. And it's a text message from Donna to Wendi Adelson saying, "Your brother Charlie protected you for years." That one line, you're right, it opens a lot of doors. This is a quick look at day 7 in the Donna Adelson trial. These daily breakdowns focus only on the courtroom language. So none of the legal issues, none of the courtroom drama, just looking at what people say, how they say it, and also what slips through. And if you missed it, my first full statement investigation deep dive went live over the weekend, looking at the most revealing testimony from week 1 of the Donna Adelson trial. Subscribe to this channel now so you don't miss any of the daily breakdowns during the trial or the deeper dives still to come. Now, let's have a look at a couple of text messages that followed up day 6, and there was so many saying this. I asked about the pause between Wendi talking about finding out Dan had been shot in the police car and the prosecutor going, "Okay." And this one from Daba, typical of what many people said. The pause is because Wendi was not told in the police car. She was told in the interrogation room, according to previous trial testimony, and also her reaction when told in the interrogation room, which is available on YouTube to watch. Thank you for everyone who filled me in on the details of that. And let's pay some attention to RFSS. These YouTube channels are a bunch of BS for people that don't have a life. I don't know if I don't have a life for making this or if you guys don't have a life for watching it, but that's what RFSS thinks of you. So let's get to Anne Cunningham then. Longtime friend of Donna Adelson, giving testimony today. Character witness, if you like, talking about Donna, and she's asked some questions about, has she ever seen Donna do bad things like this?
With respect to Mrs. Adelson and your observations of her over these, 15 years, have you found her to be a hateful person?
Never.
Is she aggressive towards others?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten anyone?
Never.
Have you ever seen her harm anyone?
Never.
Have you ever heard her threaten to have somebody harmed?
No.
Right, a lot of reliance there on the word never, which means not ever, never, not at any time. However, it appears in deception very, very often. Now, a lot of these questions are yes-no questions. They can be answered with a very simple yes or no. And yet, Anne here doesn't want to just say no. She wants to use never like a super no, like very persuasive. She really wants to persuade us about Donna's character here, I believe, which is why we have that use of never rather than no. But it just feels rote, as if she knows she's going to say never to everything, because never doesn't actually match the question asked sometimes. Have you ever found her to be a hateful person? Now, no would do there, but it's that persuasive never. Is she aggressive towards others? Never. Now, that one doesn't quite match. Is she aggressive towards others? Never. That's past. She never has been, not is, which is now. So that doesn't quite match that never. Again, it just feels to me like she is determined here to answer never. This highly persuasive word compared to a more truthful, honest, straightforward no. Is she aggressive towards others? Never. Have you ever heard her threaten anyone? Never. Have you ever seen her harm anyone? Never. So it's this never rather than no. And then on potentially the most damning question of the lot, if the answer was yes, have you ever heard her threaten to have somebody harmed? Which would be the whole crux of the matter. Have you ever heard her threaten to have Dan harmed or anyone harmed? Is this her character? Is this who she is? Does she want to harm people that she doesn't like? And instead of never, we get no. The pattern is interrupted there. Now, I wonder what is going on. Why do we get this more straightforward no there rather than have you ever seen her harm anyone? Never. Threaten anyone? Never. Aggressive? Never. Hateful person? Never. Why do we get that less persuasive one there? Now, one take on it could be that this is the truth. She's never heard her threaten to have anyone harmed, and that actually Anne had to think about this one a little bit more because she just wasn't ready for the question. She wasn't prepared for it. So she thinks about it for a while and then says, no, a much more truthful and honest question than these persuasive nevers. If you want a bonus on this, just rewind this video 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and watch Anne's head movements when she is doing never. She nods along in agreement at the first part where she's asked how long she's known Donna for. And then Anne, well, when she's saying never, her head doesn't seem to match the words. Let's get some more from Anne now, talking about the day Dan Markel was murdered.
I want to talk to you, lead you forward to the date that Danny Markel was murdered. That was July the 18th of 2014. Do you recall speaking to Mrs. Adelson on that date?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and can you explain to us how you were contacted and the nature of the conversation?
I was called, and Donna was quite hysterical.
Okay.
And she said to me, Danny's been shot.
Sustained. Do not speak to what anyone said out of court, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Please continue.
May we approach, please? Thank you, Judge. Before we talk about what she might have said to you, at the time that you spoke to Mrs. Adelson, was it the day that Danny was murdered?
When he was shot, yes.
Okay. And yeah, I use murdered because obviously he didn't pass away until the next day, but
yes,
he was shot and barely surviving on the 18th. So that's when I refer to that. That's why I say that
yes.
date. Okay. So when you spoke to her, did she call you or did you call her? Do you recall?
She called me.
Okay. And when she called you, did she appear to be upset?
Very.
Was she crying?
Yes.
Was her tone of voice, based on your knowledge of her for the 15 years, did she seem to be upset?
Very.
Okay. Did she seem to be at a point in time where she had just learned what had occurred?
Yes.
Did she indicate to you whether she had just learned that this had happened?
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
I'm sorry?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to pull apart two things there. The first thing is, do you remember this? Was there this phone call? And Anne says, I was called. Now that is kind of passive. Who called you? I was called. Not Donna called me. I was called. It's very passive. And why could this be? Well, if this phone call didn't happen, look, I wasn't there. I don't know whether the phone call happened or whether it didn't happen. I don't know what's in the phone records. But if this is a constructed call, if this is a made up call, if this did not happen, then what's the most important thing for Anne to get across is the fact that this phone call happened. Not the fact that Donna called her, but the fact that this phone call happened to her. I was called. She, when at the very beginning of that, when she is talking about it, she doesn't say Donna called me. She does say later when she's asked, was it Donna that called you? She says yes. She says, I was called. So in her words, she doesn't say Donna called her. That was the thing that got me thinking, did this call really happen? Then we have more persuasive language from Anne. Twice, the defender asks, was she upset? I don't know why she asked the same question twice, but she did ask the same question twice. And her answer, Anne's answer, was the exact same twice. Very. Again, just like the never. This could be answered with yes. Was she upset? Yes, but she feels this need to persuade us that Donna was upset on this call. Not just the need to give us the truth that yes, Donna was upset, but this need to persuade us that Donna was upset with that word very. So I've got a couple of indications there that this is more about picture painting than it is about telling us the truth. I was called. The most important thing to her was that a phone call happened. Not who called who or anything like that, but I was called. That's the most important thing I've got to get across. And then this persuasive use of the word very to describe how upset Donna was. Let's get some more from the same piece of testimony. This one's got something really interesting inside it.
And while she was upset, what did she indicate to you?
She told me that Danny had been shot and that they were going to Tallahassee and that she was very concerned and worried about Wendi and the boys, whether they were in danger.
Okay.
Because she did not know who had shot him.
Okay. And did she indicate whether she was concerned about Danny and him being in the hospital?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A bonus for regulars is the absolutely at the end there. Again, there's more persuasive language, like a super yes. Was she concerned about Danny? Absolutely. Yes would have done, but she feels the need to persuade us of Donna's emotions during this call. Now, she's asked, what did Donna indicate there in the call? And she says that Donna indicated that Dan had been shot, that she was very worried about the boys, and that she was coming to Tallahassee. And then she goes on with this little extra thing of Donna indicated she did not know who shot him, which just feels a little bit extra. It feels like, again, there are things that Anne has to hit in this testimony. The phone call happened, I was called, she was very upset, absolutely upset about Dan Markel, but it's the phrasing she uses when she does that extra thing that she feels the need to force in at the end, because she did not know who shot him. Not no one knew, not they didn't know. Donna was the only person who did not know who shot him. In other words, again, I believe for Anne, the important thing that she wants to get across in her testimony is not that at the time, no one knew who shot Dan. The police did not know. Wendi did not know. Donna did not know. They did not know. It was not known would be all justifiable words to use, although it still would feel a little bit extra. It's she did not know who shot him. It's just important for Anne to convince us, to persuade us again that Donna knew anything about this, which is why she uses that strange wording. It was not they did not know who shot him, or there was a worry the killers were still loose, or the shooters were still loose. What's important is Donna here. She did not know who shot him. And also, we've got the she did not know who shot him. She's going to say what? I don't know. What happened? Something like that. But she thinks better of it because maybe she realises she did not know what happened is almost like something out of a child's book. She did not know what happened. She did not know who shot him. So Anne, I think, had an agenda to persuade us about Donna's state of mind. And then when you look at that, well, what are the things she's trying to persuade us of? That Donna was never a bad person. What an absolute. We can all never be a bad person. We can all be a bad person sometimes. Never is just not believable. She's trying too hard to persuade us there. She's trying too hard to persuade us that this phone call happened and that Donna was very upset and she did not know who shot him. I didn't like Anne's testimony very much at all. Right, let's jump back a day then to day number 6. And this text exchange which came up, which so many people have asked me to analyse, it's a text exchange between Donna and Wendi. And Donna texts Wendi and says, there's a verdict. And Wendi gives a very passive-aggressive response. I love you very much. Call if you feel like you can. And Donna sends a text to Wendi. Your brother protected you for years. Now you are not guilty. Your law lawyer took very good care of you. You can bury me in the dress that I bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. Let's dig into that text from Donna. Your brother protected you for years. Now you are not guilty. Your law lawyer took very good care of you. You can bury me in the dress that I bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. Okay, first of all, your brother protected you for years. That's in the past tense, suggesting that the protection is over, that the protection happened certainly before the verdict coming in. Your brother protected you for years, so past tense. And it's all in the past tense, so there's no protection going on now. She also starts the next section with now. Now you are not guilty. So again, that's a comparison word. So the protection was in the past, and now the comparison word is in the present. Now you are not guilty. Also, we've got this use of protected. Your brother protected you for years. So Donna must feel that Wendi needed some kind of protection to use that word protected, because it's a very specific word. It's not looked after you, cared for you. It's protected. Your brother protected you for years, and that protection is now over. Now you are not guilty. Now that I don't know what that means. If you've got any thoughts on why she is saying that, now you are not guilty, stick it in the comments. You are not guilty would be fine if Donna believed that Wendi was innocent here. You are not guilty. But why is it now you are not guilty? What has changed there? If you've got any ideas, do let me know in the comments. She then says, your law lawyer took very good care of you. Now, is that a typo? She typed law space lawyer, got it wrong? Or does Wendi have more than one lawyer? And it's the law lawyer that took very good care of her. Is that suggesting that other lawyers didn't take quite such good care of her? Is it sarcastic that Wendi is just lawyered up to the hilt around everything? Is it just a slip? I don't know, but that's very interesting. And then we have this emotional blackmail. You can bury me in the dress that I bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. An insight into the real Donna Adelson there, I think. Thank you to everyone who suggested I take a look at that. It's 20 words, 25 words, and it is so revealing, but it does also leave me with some question marks. So do let me know if you've got any ideas about the now you are not guilty and why Donna could be using those words in the comments. And that's day 7 wrapped. By the way, if you're on a legal team and you think you could do with some of this advice, do check out my website, because I have some limited spots in 2025. If you're wanting some help with the words that someone that you may need some help with the words of, do let me know. Neveratruerword.com is the website. Neveratruerword.com is the website. You will find there deep dives into the Adelsons, the daily Adelson playlists as well, if you want to catch up on what's been happening so far in the trial. Neveratruerword.com, and we'll see you soon for something new from Never a Truer Word.